What if the very shield you built to protect your digital world became the most dangerous weapon used against you? It really sounds like something out of a movie, doesn't it? But this is a terrifying and very real situation in modern cybersecurity.
You see, tools like SOAR and XDR, they're designed with advanced AI to be your network's automated guardians. But if they aren't implemented correctly, they can actually destroy your network. Why? Because they run with the highest level of API access to pretty much everything. So, it is absolutely critical to make sure that the system designed to take action is protected and doesn't become the attacker. Now, this is part one of a two-part series based on some incredible research by Virtualization Options LLC. Their full reports go into these vulnerabilities and what you can do to safeguard your infrastructure in way more detail. Okay, so let's dive in. First, we need to meet our two main characters, SOAR and XDR. And these aren't just a couple of fancy acronyms. They're really the revolutionary answer to that overwhelming flood of cyber threats that security teams are dealing with every single day.
So first up is SOAR. The easiest way to think of it is as the mission commander for your security operations. It's the central nervous system that connects all your different security tools, your firewalls, your endpoint protection, you name it. And it tells them what to do and when to do it all automatically. It takes what used to be hours of manual work and turns it into just seconds of automated response.
Now, if SOAR is the commander, then XDR, that's your master detective. It is constantly gathering clues from all over your IT environment, from individual laptops to network traffic to your cloud apps. Then it pieces all that data together to see the full story of an attack, spotting those really sophisticated threats that would probably go unnoticed otherwise.
So yeah, they have different primary jobs, right? SOAR is all about orchestrating the response, while XDR is amazing at detecting the threat. But here's the key part. They are designed to work together. They're meant to create what should be a nearly impenetrable defense system.
And where does all this incredible power come from? Well, it comes from their deep, privileged access across the entire IT infrastructure. To do their jobs, these platforms need the highest level of permissions to see everything and control literally anything.
And this, right here, brings us to the core of our story. We've all heard it. With great power comes great responsibility. But what we're about to see is that it also comes with great risk. This immense power has a dark side. This is where the script completely flips. The very systems you put all your trust in, the ones meant to be your guardians, can be turned into your most devastating attackers. The defender becomes the assailant. Just pause and think about that for a second. What actually happens when a system that holds the keys to your entire digital kingdom decides to burn the whole thing down?
You know, for an attacker, compromising this central hub is the ultimate prize, and it's for three huge reasons. First, it's a force multiplier. You breach one system, you control them all. Simple as that. Second, it causes just massive operational disruption. If your security hub goes dark, your security team is flying completely blind. And third, and this might be the most dangerous part, is trust abuse. Any command coming from the SOAR or XDR platform is seen as legitimate, giving the attacker the perfect cover to do whatever they want.
So the why is pretty clear, but how do attackers actually pull this off? Let's open up their playbook and take a look at the main ways they get in. Okay, vector number one, APIs. These platforms are talking to other tools constantly, making thousands of API calls. It's like a building with thousands of doors. If an attacker finds just one of those doors with a weak lock, they can sneak in malicious commands or just flood the system with requests until it breaks.
The second way in is the supply chain. This is a really sneaky one. See, SOAR and XDR platforms use all these third-party plugins to add new features. Attackers can compromise one of those plugins, hiding their bad code inside an integration that you trust. Once you install it, that code runs with the full power of the platform itself.
And this last one is maybe the most elegant attack. Instead of breaking the system's logic, attackers just abuse it. They figure out how to trigger legitimate automated responses, but they do it in a way that creates this massive, resource-draining chain reaction that can bring an entire network to its knees.
And listen, this isn't just theory. These attack methods have been used in the real world, and the consequences have been devastating. So let's look at two case studies, anonymized, of course, but taken right from the source material.
$50 million. That was the estimated financial hit across all the affected customers from a single incident that involved a SOAR platform.
So here's how it went down back in 2024. Attackers found a weakly protected API on a big cloud-based SOAR platform. They then used it to just unleash an avalanche of automated alerts, completely overwhelming the system.
And the result? 48 hours of downtime for security teams, a huge delay in responding to real threats, and, well, a $50 million lesson in API security.
$12 million. That's the price tag of a different attack, this time weaponizing an XDR platform's own features against itself.
So, in this incident from 2025, attackers stole an administrator's login info. They just walked right into the XDR platform and started reconfiguring the automated response playbooks. Then, all they had to do was generate the right kind of alert to trigger those now malicious playbooks, causing the XDR system to launch a massive denial of service attack against its own network. Critical apps were down for 18 hours.
So, the crucial point here is, what do we learn from this? Well, first, API security isn't just a nice-to-have, it's paramount. Second, you have to monitor your own automation. You got to look for weird patterns in how your playbooks are running. And finally, you absolutely need a specific incident response plan for that worst-case scenario where your defender is the attacker.
And that leaves us with a final, pretty provocative question to think about. Your security guardian is incredibly powerful, and it needs to be. But is it properly guarded? In part 2 of this series, we're going to dive into the specific defensive strategies and hardening techniques that can help make sure your shield never, ever becomes a sword.